Lamarckism, theory of inheritance of acquired characters. Jean-Baptiste Lamarck was a French biologist who initiated early discussions related to biological evolution. His ideas are known as Lamarckism. Giraffes with short necks that feed on the ground acquired characters transmitted through generations, leading to the emergence of giraffes with a longer neck. Lamarck proposed that the giraffe's neck elongates as it stretches its neck to reach for leaves from the higher branches due to food scarcity. Acquired characters were transmitted through generations, leading to the emergence of giraffes with longer necks. Later, scientists proved that acquired characters do not impart change in the genetic structure of organisms and therefore are not inherited. Charles Darwin's theory of evolution is one among the most influential scientific ideas in the world. Charles Darwin was influenced to formulate the theory of evolution by observing the diversity in the beaks of finches at Galapagos Islands. The major difference these species exhibit is the shape and size of the beak. The beaks of medium-sized seed-eating finches are different from those of large seed-eating and insect-eating ones. The beaks are their main means to obtain food. Birds with the beaks of suitable shape or size, depending on the availability of food resources in the environment, will survive and produce more offspring. Darwin's explanation on how these finches later got evolved into new species. Overproduction. Organisms produce more offspring than the environment can support. Variations. Organisms show differences from each other in most features such as the size, immunity, and seed production. These variations can be favorable or harmful to the organisms. Struggle for existence. Limitation of resources including food, shelter, and mates will lead to competition among organisms. Survival of the fittest. Organisms with favorable variations survive in the struggle for existence. They reproduce more effectively and create new generations. Natural selection. Favorable variations are passed on to next generations. More variations accumulate over time, leading to the creation of organisms that are unable to reproduce within the species. They evolve as new species. Lamarckism. Giraffes of earlier periods possess short necks. Giraffes began to stretch their necks to obtain food. By continuous use, giraffes with longer necks emerged. Environment causes variations in the organisms. Darwinism. Giraffes with necks of varying length. Only the giraffes with longer necks survived in the competition of food. Only the giraffes with longer necks survived and began new species. Environment selects the favorable variations in organisms. Neo-Darwinism. Darwin's theory of evolution has been subjected to criticism because Charles Darwin had no idea about the genetic basis of variations and inheritance. However, with the discoveries of Gregor Mendel and a concept about chromosomes and genes, it was recognized that the causes of variations that lead to evolution were genetic changes, genetic recombination during sexual reproduction, and gene flow. Later, Darwinism became uncritically rationalized as more evidences and further studies from the fields of population, genetics, paleontology, environmental science, etc. were added to Darwinism to form Neo-Darwinism. Speciation. Although members of a population can produce offspring with differences through reproduction, they remain as a single species. If the members of the population get isolated from each other by ecological or other factors such as mutation, natural selection, genetic recombination, etc., several variations might accumulate over time. When the members of a species become unable to reproduce new offspring mutually, they will evolve into a different species. Evidences of evolution. The evidences that support the theory of evolution are overwhelming. Studies ranging from the comparative study of biomolecules to the distribution of organisms on the earth help us to understand the interrelationship among organisms. Molecular biology. The evolutionary relationship of organisms can be found out by comparing the sequence of nucleotides in the DNA and the sequence of amino acids in the proteins in an organism with those of other organisms. Comparative anatomy. The comparative study of anatomy of organisms provides strong evidences to evolution. The bones in the forelimbs of humans and cats, the flippers of whales, and the wings of bats are similar, but these organs differ in their external structure and function. Fossils. Organic evolution is a gradual process. The ancestors of horses had shorter legs than the ones in our times. Fossils are connecting links reveal the evolutionary relationship between organisms. Archaeopteryx that possess the characteristic features of both reptiles and birds. In the last 3 to 4 million years, increase in the brain capacity of human, a major trend in human evolution. The size of the brain nearly tripled over the course of 2 million years. This gave complex social behavior to make tools to use language and to perform higher level cognitive functions. The increase in the cranial capacity has also helped man to adapt to changing environments, develop culture, and use advanced technologies. Brain development laid the foundation for the transition from small brained ancestors to Homo sapiens.